afternoon to you, our cherished listeners and viewers. It's always indeed super exciting. Us by Goyle. Goyle, they say good energy. Goyle Yenara Yedia. Masterclass is also brought to us by First Code Management Services. First Code Management Services, they say industry get month of the year. And like we always say here on the show, if there's something that you've always wanted to do, planned to do, written down, thought of it, on procrastination, that said that procrastination is the audacity to think that you have time to do what you exactly, because procrastination always wastes time and it doesn't get the job done. My name, as always, is Yaw Barnafo, and I will be hosting the show for today. For those of us who support today, we continue in the line of that conversation, and we're going to be looking at the strategies, the tools, and the ways to go about remote working. We established in that conversation that remote working was not for everyone. By and large, most jobs are able to work from home. What's going on right now is that most companies have not come back to the office since March of last year when COVID struck. And you find that they're efficient. And then, of course, the risk is when you're moving physically. But there's another risk, which is cyber. Have shared thoughts on that. I was having a chat before we came on air with Dr. Gustav Yankson of the Cybercrime Unit Ghana Police Service, and he shared some thoughts. Not in the space of finances, in the space of working remotely, or whatever else you're doing. The world has gone digital, obsolete. So how do we find relevance in our business context within this space while we're here? Conspiracy that everything you say is recorded by your phone. Some of the phones you have, we're in a hurry to go and get the best and the newest phones, iPhone this, iPhone that, decision making. We're privileged to have back here on the conversation with us a resource person who has become a friend of the show because he's also a friend of multimedia and a Spiky. Kobby, you're welcome.
Thank you very much.
Interestingly enough, when we started this conversation, you joined us remotely to drive home the point of XP on one internet connection, so that if something goes wrong, you can easily switch from one to the other. And you're here with us in the studio today to sort of continue this conversation. So watch the show as well as listen to it. If you're driving, you can also keep your dial locked right here and be a part of the show. Today's show is brought to us right. So are you planning to put together a small company, or do you have an existing company and you need some help with consulting? Because if you do, here's how their businesses. For startup investors, SMEs, and business owners, First Code Management Services provide advisory, facilitation support, as well as training and capacity building. First Code Management Services are your first point of call for all your management support services. Talk to us today or call us on 0302 Westlands Boulevard or West Legon, or visit us at www.firstcodelimited.com. First Code Management Services, teaching remote work. We've sort of introduced the conversation about working remotely, and we've talked to people. Last week we talked about devices, we talked about the connections, we talked about these for working remotely. And then we'll get interactive at some point, and then we'll take a few comments from our listeners as well.
Sure. So, remote work is in the same country that they were born in, and some people want to travel the world, see the world, and still job, which is working for a company which wakes up when she's supposed to be sleeping. But at the same time, she wants to be able to travel the world. And because she's working remotely, she's able to do that. One moment she's in Paris, the next moment had challenges because companies are thinking, is it possible? Well, the tools are now a way to work remotely. There's no one shoe fits all. You need to find a combination of tools that serve your purpose, that serve your business. Maybe someone's thinking working remotely, my Microsoft Word may be different because I'm working remotely now. Well, you could choose to use cloud-based word processing or Office documents software, because maybe you're hoping that everything talk to you, people are able to see you and then ask you questions. Hey, where can I have this file? Can you share this with me? And if not exactly the best thing, so you need to make sure that your whole team has agreed on a means of communication. Some may say, okay, let's do WhatsApp and set up a WhatsApp group. But yeah, right now everybody has a WhatsApp. You're planning, and all that can come to distract you while you're working. So you want to make sure that you take it away from WhatsApp. Some may suggest Telegram on WhatsApp. So you're thinking Telegram. Once again, Telegram is person-to-person communication. Having a work group on Telegram, so many things on Facebook that on Telegram that I'm subscribed to. So if I'm supposed to keep track of, and you have so many of them, you have platforms like Slack, you have Fleep, you have Workplace by Facebook, you have Microsoft Teams remotely with your other teammates. So you want to look away from WhatsApp and Telegram or anything that your family and friends are also using, since that could be a distract. Then you have to be using the free version, which normally is limited. But yeah, Slack and the rest, they're all free, so no need to worry about that. And when you move from, if you're a developer, you probably know what GitHub is, where you upload most of your codes and all that. You can plug all that into Slack. If you're using message board, so when you post something, others can respond to it. People who've used Microsoft Teams since the lock Microsoft Teams. So you choose whichever one that suits you better, and then you go with it. And if you're using your email, some prefer email. We've used email since time immemorial, since people started Kwame Enim 1000. One great email platform, Gmail, has evolved over time, adding more and more tools. You have Google Calendar, which allows you to built in there. You have a cloud drive built in there too. You have even a word processor. You have Google Docs. You have Google Sheets, which is a cloud version of it. Can sort you out across everything from communication to planning to eSoft's Hotmail or Outlook. It also has the same tools as Google. It might is right now, so I don't think I need to go into details to explain what Zoom is. But just basically, if you want more time, you have to pay premium. But Google Meet is available with your Gmail, free of charge, and you can use that on that side. Now, when you are communicating, someone may also ask, "Hey, what happened to Skype?" Skype is still there. It's Skype. By all means, do you can stick with Skype, but Microsoft is trying to transition everyone from Skype to Microsoft Teams. Explain. So you might need your techie to walk you through Microsoft Teams from big group of tools to get around communicating. Now, while doing this, you may want to share your screen sometimes. They call me and they are trying to explain what is happening. And I'm like, okay, so what can you see on your screen? And the person is describing something. You're telling conferencing tools like Zoom, Skype, Google Meet, all these softwares allow you to share your screen. You have to help someone like a teammate solve a problem remotely. Them just sharing their screen and see clients, you know what I'm talking about. Or you can Google them. You can Google alternative. Every time I'm looking for a software, and one is great. What's great about softwares is that they almost always look alike, and with TeamViewer I should be able to use AnyDesk and so on and so forth. VNC and the others may be a bit complicated because they require more configuration, but AnyDesk and TeamViewer are the ways to go if you don't communicating with your clients or your team. Now, away from that, you want to be able to collaborate on document, and someone has to chip in something over here. You don't always have to save the file, email it to the person, tell them check chapter 2, and that person end up sending an older version when what you meant to send was the one that you just edited. So the best thing to do is to do cloud collaboration on such documents and files. You can access that and have people work with you on the same document at the same time. Cursor on the screen with their name, possibly identified with a different color, and then that allows you to even comment highlighting a section and then they send it back. I got an experience where someone edited a document from about to the person that the initial file that he sent was a 3-year-old file, and they had to now record. Sending same files back and forth can bring about something that you don't want to happen. Now, Google Docs is great because it has add-ons. It has so many things that you can plug in there, like dictionaries, proofreading tools, calculators, or charts. And you can install an add-on in your browser like Grammarly, or even Microsoft's new add-on is called Microsoft Editor. You install it in your browser and it proofreads anything you're typing, so no need to worry. And another thing is PDFs, which is if you work in an office, you've always come across PDF. And an iPad, how will I sign this document? First of all, PDFs are not always editable unless the person sending it to you wants you to do different things. There's Acrobat, which allows you to edit PDFs, and there's Reader, which just allows you to read. And then you can edit it if they're already editable, and you want to edit it, you need to use a different software called Adobe Acrobat. Now that's paid, so you need to pay for it. Take a picture or scan it, go into Photoshop, edit it into a PNG, and then insert it in the document. you have to sign. You click on it, it will ask you to sign, and you can draw with your mouse your signature, or you can just type in. Someone tries to, impersonate you or something, they may not have that certificate that you attach to. When I say certificate, I don't mean just stick with the fact that it's a certificate. And moving on from that, if you don't want to use Adobe Reader, there are other and it brings you other choices. But I always like to go with tried and tested, what we've used, as the council say, software, and then you are using it and you have a challenge. You're trying to explain to them what your challenge is, and they're like matches across all platforms. And if you're into design, you probably save documents or files that you're working on the cloud, and you can send these across. Now, I've mentioned cloud a lot anywhere. It's very important for remote work because, like I mentioned, you can be any part of the world at any time. Maybe you're in Ghana and thrive, of course not. But if the file is in the cloud, you can access it from anywhere. Now, there are so many cloud providers. We started off with Dropbox. I even use my Telegram Messenger as my, or you run Telegram on. So I use Telegram as my quick file storage if I want to save. But if you want more security, something that you know that you only have access to and you haven't signed in anywhere, you could use storage just because it's a cloud storage. You need to read the reviews, know the company, how long has the company been in operation, to be sure that your files can be saved. Because maybe you're saving some sensitive, will be leaked to, all these hackers, and then they can do whatever they want, even blackmail you for money. We heard some time ago when specifically which cloud provider you're using. If you want extra security, make sure you encrypt the file before you even upload it. Encrypt or secure your files before you put it online or on the cloud. Now, for you, like, for instance, you want to do what we call live sharing. And if you're a coder and you use Visual Studio has something called Visual Studio. Yeah, they understand. Yes.
So maybe let's still share it because business owners will hear this and then they can go to the IT teams and say, listen, I understand there's something called so and so go and look for it.
So PowerPoint, if you're coders and you want to work on a code in real time with a team, you can use Visual Studio as part of the world, and it's real time. It's really, really helpful. I know teams that have used this and they've achieved a lot because they didn't have to wait for an alternative. You can just Google it, add the Visual Studio Live Share alternative, and then you find it. And remote work generation, where we have smartphones, and all I have to do is say, "Hey Google, remind me to do this thing." Yeah, and then it just responded. So you say remote work, but everyone can work remotely. So if you need to know yourself and know that supposed to, then you need to use a task manager. Tell yourself that from, let's say, 7 to 8, I'm working on this. From 8 to 9, I'm working on this. I mentioned that you have one built into your Google. So if you're using your Gmail, you can use task. There's so many of them that I can't.
So many softwares that we can leverage. I'm sure you have as we want this to be relevant to the conversation. And as you spoke, one of the things that resonated with me was that majority of our business environment are into the provision of, this conversation is not for me because I'm into, let's say, fruit juice. I import fruit juice. I do hardcore. I sell slippers. I sell shoes. I sell bags. I can't send that to you over the internet. What it is you're selling. Be present on the internet. When I pick up my phone and I Google gas repairers near me and my location is on, you should be on there, you chain, to do your business. So this conversation, yes, it's about you listening to me, you sitting in your shop thinking, oh, it's for the IT thing, and they put up a different menu every day, and it's just on Facebook. Now guess what, people go to the office, they see it, and they come, and you don't even pay the courier because it's part of what you've paid. I could never have driven to that part of Accra to pick up that station on digitization. Can benefit your business, give you more reach, give you more information for this interactive. We take a quick message from our sponsors to remind us also that today's show is brought to us by Goyle. Goyle, they say good energy, Goyle, Yenara idea, and also by First Code Man.
Your favorite on-air business development program, Joy Business Masterclass, is in session, and you can interact with us on Facebook via the GH. Don't forget to hashtag JB Masterclass. You can also call us on 0302 216541. Our facilitators will address your concerns. Attention everyone, class is in progress.
Great news for you. Goyle's Going cashless has never been this convenient and exciting. Goil's ePay to purchase fuel. GH Link cards offer additional payment options for fuel purchases at all of Goil stations in addition to the Go card. And use your GH Link card to buy fuel and all lubricants from any of Goil's over 400 stations across Ghana. Go cashless and protect the air. And so in these moments of increasing uncertainties, firms are also compelled to seek tailor-made solutions to reduce risk and grow their businesses. For startup investors, SMEs and business compliance, for accounting, for research and market entry, and also for training and capacity building. First code manager 297-2263 or 0302-297-2264. Locate us at 60A Westlands Boulevard, West Legon, or visit our numbers to call 0302-216-541. You can also send us your comments on 055-111-997. I've got my first caller on the line. Good calling from, sir.
Okay, no problem. My name is Kofi, and I'm calling from Tema.
Talk to me, Kofi.
Yeah, very interesting discussion, and I've been following it. And I like the way that Kobby Spiky, remote. I don't think that is for everybody, and I think that point had actually been made.
Yes.
Because if you are in the manufacturing sector, you are providing us energy working. So I think that the remote working is for people in the top management. For instance, the administrators, human resource managers, among others. So I think the education ought to go that way so that not everybody will think that it is from. Maybe your editor can work from the house, but you, the reporter, ought to be at work.
Good.
But also talking about the culture of work, and Kobby mentioned the task scheduler or manager elsewhere can also monitor to ensure that indeed you are working. What about the challenges when it comes to network? How about network costs? Has Kobby computed this so that we can know that the cost of being fuel, among others, or the air conditioning in the office, the kinds of infrastructure that you use, and the bills to be paid from 8 to 5, is more cost effective, or working remotely is cost effective? Thank you.
Thank you so much. Very, very I'll address the second part. Kofi, thank you so much. You spoke about it not being for everyone. That's correct. Working from home is not for everyone because there are certain things that require you to be present. But I can tell you this, though. There in your office, you'll find that there are support staff and there are operational staff. So, yes, the person who sits on the machine operating cannot work from home. Even that one, very soon that will change. Other parts of the same manufacturing company can work from home. And this is what we are talking about. There are tools to monitor, tools to check. You can reach out through your customers and all of that. Interviews are being conducted remotely and they are beamed remotely. So we're getting there to the point where a lot of the things, largely, you'll be able to do them remotely. Kobby, just
of businesses were worried. Will my team members actually be,
or they're on holiday.
Yeah, they're going to stay at home, kick, other made, and some you have to, you can pay for and then just use them. Some even go as far as the webcam. That's why last week I mentioned that if you say you're going to be marking attendance, then you might as well someone can just sit down there, open, the tab, have their phone software is telling you that they spent 60% of their time in Excel, 30% on Google Chrome, and they will list this website.
It's not only in monitoring the staff, but also a change in thinking of the employer.
Yes.
What your people come to work every day, what do they do? Do you just enjoy seeing media from Winneba? Sarah says, good day, Yaw and Kobby. As said, Kobby has said it all, and it's very true, because working from home, you need to go the extra mile. And it's okay. I've got another one. This one is from Douglas from Dansuman. He says, forever. What of consuming side of all these Microsoft Telegram team and expenses on the
industry, like we mentioned, is ready to go.
But we've started the awareness.
We've started, yes.
Gradually, and we're going to get there.
Definitely.
I'd like to take a few more phone calls. 03. Right, Fred, talk to me, Fred.
Yeah, very, very nice, educative.
Fred, what do you do?
I said we law in our global world, especially in Africa now, don't know much about how somebody is able to swindle you on the internet world or something when you are doing business online with them.
Right.
So how good to work with that they will never swindle me if I'm whatever that they are dealing in, whatever service that they are rendering, that I'm also participating in receiving the service. How are we able to ascertain that they are real?
Spending time with the director of cybercrime, Dr. Gustav Yankson, a few minutes ago before we came on the show, and he was dwelling on cybercrime and cybersecurity. Kobby, let's see if you're dealing with the right company. Some fraudulent person will not come through the back door and take advantage of you, take your money away, misrepresent themselves. I hear people even It's so frightening when you listen to it. Share some thoughts on cybersecurity briefly, if you will.
So it's very, very important that I like the fact that people are aware of the risk, because then it makes them, when people are aware, they protect themselves more versus the ignorant ones out there. Brand or whichever site I'm trying to make a purchase from, I go and read reviews. Even on Amazon, when I'm making a purchase on Amazon, I scroll straight to the reviews to find out, one, is it what exactly I'm looking for? Two, is it from a reputable, write an Amazon with an S, like you said, Amazons, or they may write the A with a 4, and it looks like an A, so you're going to go with it, or the O with a 0. So, yeah, it may have it all right, but there's a high possibility that can even be cloned, that can be faked. So, one, make sure that you type in the URL yourself. Don't just click a link that someone sent
You know what,
to
Kobby? I think we're going to have a whole session on cybersecurity.
You're calling from Amasaman?
Kingsley from Amasaman.
Yeah.
Talk to me, Kingsley.
Nice discussion there.
Thank you, Kingsley.
I hope you would make time to talk about this now. And we are not taking advantage of it, because if you hear ECG telling you, I cannot collect my bills, it means they don't have a GIS. Now Google is available because the data is not there. What are we doing as a country?
What are we doing?
Ghana Water says is we are not paying bills. Yet there's a technology that we don't have to be talking about losses at this 21st century. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Kingsley. And that was a passionate appeal. I mean, he talked about Google. You'll be video. In fact, I've seen videos of it can show you exactly where you live. And these days we use Google for the routing. So if you're going home from the office, you just type, you can get used to get to your house. And when there's traffic on another, it tells you go past this. And you know what's funny? They can't even pronounce our names well. So turn right on Far Road. We need to come back on this conversation again. My time is out, but let's sort of wrap up on this conversation. What's the takeout for today?
So my takeout section. Find out who you are, because that could help you be more efficient. That's what you're looking for. You want to be very efficient and then productive. And the bosses who want to be marking register, that's not the employees. Know thyself and then adapt accordingly. And for the employers, no marking of register.
Cybersecurity.
Because there's a whole lot of things people need to know about protecting themselves while working remotely and dealing with clients and businesses online.
And the threats that exist. Next week, we're going to be spending some more time on cybersecurity and what the threats are if you decide to work remotely. I mean, we don't have a choice. We all have to start working remotely at some point. Thank you.